Christmas came early for me this year because I just got gifted the new performance package from Manscaped, made specifically for men. The performance package from Manscaped is the perfect addition to your Christmas wish list, or the perfect gift for a special guy in your life. The performance pack comes in discreet packaging, so it won't spoil the surprise on Christmas morning, but when you open the box, you'll see just how nice it really is. With this performance pack, you get the full Manscaped experience. The main event is definitely the Lawnmower 4.0. It's their best seller, and you can see why. It's completely waterproof, there's no charging port anywhere, it's totally cordless, and it's got advanced skin-safe technology to help you reduce nicks and cuts, which, where this thing is designed to shave, is a very good thing. It's even got this little light on the front there. Can you guys see that? So you can really see what you're doing, and you pop it in the high-tech wireless charging dock when you need to charge it. Also, you'll get the Manscaped Crop Preserver, their below-the-waist deodorant, and also the Crop Reviver body spray. Also new to this collection is the Weed Whacker, which that one is for the nose. It's got a 360-degree rotary blade at the top there, and same skin-safe technology, so no getting painful up there, which sucks. For a limited time, you'll also get 2 free gifts. You get the anti-chafing boxes, which I have right there, and also this travel bag, which is fantastic, plus free international shipping. So all you need to do is go to manscaped.com, use the promo code MGP20, and you'll get 20% off your order, the 2 free gifts, and free international shipping, all using the code MGP20 at manscaped.com. And now today's video. In elementary school, we all learned there are 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. However, if you've taken more advanced physics studies, you know there's actually a 4th state: plasma. In this state, matter has so much energy that electrons begin leaving their orbits in their atoms and floating freely. This state of matter dominates the core of the sun, for example, where nuclear fusion takes place. Naturally, after discovering plasma, humans began imagining ways to weaponize it. While these plasma weapons first saw use in science fiction, life has inevitably imitated art, with various militaries and government organizations working on plasma cannons and other plasma weapons that feature so prominently in fictional space battles. Some have even had some success. Since plasma is ionized matter with extremely high amounts of energy, it seems straightforward to use it as a weapon. Just shoot it at your enemies and watch them melt away. Right? Well, of course, reality isn't so simple. Just consider the other states of matter. It's easy to shoot a solid projectile at someone, but liquid immediately gets a bit more complicated. It disperses quickly, and only by maintaining it at high pressure can it be contained in a stream that can be used as a weapon on distant targets, such as with fire hoses. Gas is even more difficult. If you try to shoot gas out of a gun, it spreads out and becomes pretty useless. Well, plasma is a step into the even more problematic. Plasma has so much energy that it disperses to the point of being useless just millimeters from its source. Though most sci-fi movies don't go into it, the most likely solution to this problem is to use powerful magnetic fields to contain the plasma, just like in fusion reactors. Another problem is that if you're shooting the plasma on a planet with an atmosphere, whatever gas that atmosphere is made of will necessarily be denser than the plasma. It will take extra energy to push the plasma through the denser gas, like trying to push a stream of air through the water. In other words, between magnetic fields and forceful propulsion, any plasma weapon would need a serious energy source to power it. Consequently, militaries looking to weaponize plasma have come up with some pretty creative solutions. In 1990, the United States Air Force Research Laboratory began computer simulations for their theoretical weapon, Marauder, or magnetically accelerated ring to achieve ultra-high directed energy and radiation. Well done on that acronym. It aimed to solve the previously discussed problems not by shooting plasma in a controlled stream, but rather by spinning it up into a donut shape called a toroid at an acceleration of 100 billion Gs. They ultimately hoped to shoot these rings of around 2 milligrams of plasma at 10,000 kilometers per second, which is 6,200 miles per second, or 3% the speed of light. For reference, the fastest commercial rifle bullets travel at less than 2,000 kilometers per second. The first actual experiment of the weapon took place in 1993 using the Shiva Star capacitor bank at Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They found that a single shot had the energy of 5 pounds of TNT and caused extreme mechanical and thermal shock to its targets. It also created an electromagnetic pulse that disrupted electronic devices. After the 1993 experiment, the Air Force made few references to the Marauder experiment. It was then deemed classified in 1995, so it's unknown whether it's still in development, whether it's been scrapped, or even if it's perhaps operational. Another weaponization of plasma was discovered by accident during the Cold War. Initially, the United States was looking into lasers as a way of inflicting damage on a target, and they soon discovered that these lasers created clouds of plasma. At first, this was a problem because the plasma absorbed the energy from the laser pulse, but they soon realized that with the right laser, they could cause the plasma to explode, causing damage all on its own. Their favorite thing about this weapon was that they could scale its effects. By changing the power of the laser, they could create massive explosions or merely just stun their targets. Originally called the Pulsed Impulsive Kill Laser, or PICL, it was upgraded to the Pulsed Chemical Laser, or PCL, in 1998, and then the Pulsed Energy Projectile, or PEP, in 2000. Research on the PEP concluded that the exploding plasma created an electromagnetic pulse that caused pain and even temporary paralysis without any physical damage. The US military had plans to mount the PEP on a Hummer and aim it at targets over a mile away as a non-lethal deterrent that would stun targets. However, ethical concerns as well as difficulties fine-tuning the EMB frequency saw PEP replaced by a different project, the Plasma Acoustic Shield System, or PAS, developed in 2013. It was based on a simpler idea. The laser-induced plasma explosions would be loud and bright enough to stun targets. Still, PAS had its own problems, namely that it could deafen and blind friendly troops. Now, the Joint Non-Lethal Weapons Directorate is working on a laser plasma device they call Scalable Compact Ultra-Short Pulse Laser System, or SCUPLS. Small enough to fit on a light vehicle, it can produce flashbangs of up to 165 decibels, about as loud as a jet engine, and large amounts of pain when it hits its target. Interestingly, it can also be used to transmit voice messages over a range of about a kilometer. The US Department of Defense is currently integrating SCUPLS with the Marine Corps, as well as Customs and Border Control and municipal police departments. While it's currently designed for non-lethal purposes, it could also be scaled up for lethal use. The US isn't the only country that made public interest in plasma weapons. Back in 2017, the Russian Defense Ministry claimed they had already developed advanced hypersonic weapons that were completely different from other weapons because they operated in a plasma medium. Then in 2018, Russian President Vladimir Putin revealed plans for 6 new strategic weapons in the Russian arsenal. While it turns out none of these were plasma cannons or even plasma weapons per se, one was a hypersonic cruise missile called Kinzhal, or Dagger, that relies on plasma for its stealth operation. Flying at a speed of over 6,000 kilometers per hour, or 3,700 miles an hour, it creates a cloud of plasma in front of it that absorbs radio waves, making it nearly impossible to catch on radar. Russia has even used the Kinzhal in the war in Ukraine. For example, in March, the Russian military struck a munitions depot in the Ukrainian village of Dilyatin with the Kinzhal missile. Since Dilyatin lies just 100 kilometers or 62 miles from Romania, this put NATO countries on edge. With a range of 2,000 kilometers or 1,200 miles, Kinzhal missiles launched from Kaliningrad could hit a number of European cities. At the same time, the Russian government continues to emphasize the progress of its weapons programs and its scientists' expertise in advanced materials like plasma. Although some shrug this off as propaganda, similar to Nazi stories of Wunderwaffen during World War II, others speculate that Russia may end up being the first to use plasma cannons or similar plasma weapons in actual combat. For the time being, it looks like plasma cannons are more a thing of science fiction than scientific reality. But will it always be that way? Given the large amount of interest in and the money devoted to plasma weapons research, plasma cannons might be here sooner than you'd think. But what exactly will they look like? Since creating plasma and then concentrating it into beams or toroids requires so much energy, individual plasma rifles seem less likely than massive structures drawing power from a central energy source. While these would most likely largely be defensive structures, they could potentially be attached to naval vessels with nuclear reactors. These tactical cannons would be even better facilitated with a fusion power source, so if you're curious about how the development of fusion reactors is coming along, be sure to watch our video covering that whole topic as well. In other words, the weaponization of plasma relies on the development of a lot of other technologies, from fusion to lasers. In the long run, will the persistence of world governments and militaries overcome these technological obstacles to create the plasma cannons worthy of on-screen space battles and epic video games? Well, yeah, probably. As with a lot of things, it's gonna just be a matter of time.